This is 17 News with continuing coronavirus coverage.
Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us. I'm Nicole Kitsky. Well, Governor Gavin Newsom is streaming live every day at noon to give an update on the coronavirus crisis in our state. Today, Governor Newsom is set to provide an update on the state's response on the novel coronavirus. We will bring him to you as soon as he is available. Well, now to breaking news. The Kern County Sheriff's Office, we have learned that the department employees have tested positive for the novel coronavirus. According to Sheriff Donnie Youngblood, 20 employees have confirmed cases of COVID-19. 18 of them are at home in self-quarantine, and 2 of those employees have recovered and are now back to work. The sheriff said he expects more will return to work next week. He says the number of inmates in county jail facilities with COVID-19 remains at 9. Well, we have Governor Gavin Newsom. Let's take it over to him and hear what he has to say.
But a global and national context, the magnitude of what has happened with this pandemic, the impact it's had on individuals, lives lost, but also the economic consequences of this virus are now just coming into sharper focus, and a sharper picture is being painted about the present and the future. Just here in the state of California, just since March 12th, some 3.1 million Californians have filed for unemployment insurance. Just since March 12th, 3.1 million have filed for unemployment insurance. A few weeks back, I was giving a state of the state, talking about the fact that we had just entered into our 119th month of consecutive job growth in the state of California. We talked about the fact that we were averaging a GDP growth over a 5-year period of 3.8%, substantially outpacing the rest of the nation. We were enjoying the lowest unemployment in modern recorded history, 3.9%. Today, I stand in front of you sobered by the reality of the last few weeks. We are now in a pandemic-induced recession here in the state of California. And while the new numbers came out today, 5.3% unemployment, that masks the reality of where the real unemployment rate is here today and ultimately will end up over the course of weeks and months. Again, 3.1 million have just applied for unemployment insurance. They are not all represented in that 5.3% unemployment rate number. These are sober and challenging times. And we believe very confidently these are not permanent moments in terms of what we should expect in the future. We have great confidence in our capacity to, in a California way, to not just survive working our way through this pandemic, but to thrive over the course of the next year, 2, and 3 as we turn this economy around. And so today we want to talk a little bit more specifically about our simultaneous efforts to focus not only on the crisis at hand, the situational challenges that remain daunting in the state of California, to not only bend the curve, but to see that curve begin to decline to meet the needs of millions and millions of Californians and address the crisis, but simultaneously at the same time begin to focus much more robustly, much more comprehensively on economic growth and economic recovery. Let me, though, just say from the outset, it is sobering to be talking about economic growth and economic recovery and unemployment numbers when we just had other numbers that came out today. 95 lives lost last night. That's the highest number that we have recorded since this pandemic began. 985 human beings, their stories, their lives, their families torn asunder, have lost their lives since the beginning of this pandemic. We are coming close to that 1,000 mark, a mark we hoped we would never see. Again, it puts this moment in perspective. We need to continue practicing physical distancing. We need to deeply apply the stay-at-home orders. We are not out of the woods yet. The worst mistake we can make after so much progress in the state of California, bending the curve, making those models moot because of your actions and your extraordinary cooperation in this effort, is to pull back right before we're at a point where we can start toggling back and begin a very thoughtful, phased-in approach to reopening the state of California and ultimately reopening our economy. So I want to frame that as a predicate because I recognize the exuberance some of us have around entering into the conversation, the next phase conversation about economic recovery and economic growth, and a desire to attach dates and deadlines to those strategies. I, of course, am never tempered by dates and deadlines. I only am guided by health and science, real data, and a granular level, bottom up, not top down. I'll remind you, 40 million Californians. We are the most diverse, and we are the largest state in the union. And as a consequence, we need to be very prescriptive in our strategies, very targeted in our strategies and approaches as we begin to sectorally and regionally focus on the issue of economic recovery and economic growth.
And you just heard the latest from Governor Gavin Newsom, who is providing an update to the economic state right here in California during the coronavirus pandemic. Now, he did mention that 15% of all American jobs, percent of that we led from the Great Recession since then. Just here in California, that's 3.4 million jobs. Well, as of March, that is now over with. They are looking now at the short-term and long-term economic recovery from this coronavirus pandemic. Now, Governor Newsom does go on to mention that we need to make sure that we are staying home and following social distancing orders. The worst mistake we can do in his part is that we will pull back and open up the economy, go out more, and that will in turn make us more prevalent to getting the coronavirus. Now, you can continue watching Governor Newsom's whole live stream on our Facebook page as well. Stay with us. We're back after this.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Kevin Shred, and it is Friday, and talked about the rain this morning that would move in, and we have seen the showers. I picked up 1/100 of an inch of rain here in the southwest part of town. Other areas have also seen the showers. We've got the cloud cover out there, and temperatures are much cooler than what we were seeing yesterday. That is for sure. 63 degrees out in Arvin right now. A few showers out there. We're also looking at mostly cloudy skies out in the Wasco area. Gray sky and 63 degrees. And then up in Mountains, Fraser Park, mostly cloudy and 50, and then out of Golden Hills, cloudy skies and 52. Bakersfield right now, 59 degrees. We've only picked up a trace of rain out at Meadows Field, and overnight we saw a temperature of 58, 8 degrees off the normal, 75 the normal high today. We won't be reaching that as we take a look at the temperatures for the day. 52 in Tehachapi right now, 53 for Lake Isabella as we look into the valley, 50s and 60s at this time, and satellite and radar showing you some of these showers pushing on in. It looks like some moderate showers over the 178 heading up near the Delano area. Looks like a pretty good band headed your way. So keep that in mind. And again, we've got isolated thunderstorms to the north of us right now. As this system continues to push off to the east today, we can't rule out a chance of thunderstorms in our neck of the woods. 64 in Sacramento today, 73 in Fresno, 60s down to the south this afternoon. And there's our Pacific view. This system exits. We'll see clearing for the weekend, and then next week we'll track another system. It does bring in a few pockets of isolated thunderstorm activity in there. So we'll just have to see if that develops throughout the afternoon. And you can see the thunderstorm forecast this morning wanted to keep it more east, and you can see now they've changed their tune. At least the models have. This morning it said, hey, I'm going to encompass all of Kern County, and now the models are suggesting that as well. Doesn't mean we're going to get thunderstorms, but there is a chance out there. 72 in Bakersfield for today, 70 in Buttonwillow and Taft at 70 degrees. Into the mountains, a chance of showers and thunderstorms as well. 55 in Fraser Park, 58 in Tehachapi, 60s into the Kern River Valley in the desert today, a chance of showers and thunderstorms. 65 in Mojave. You can see tomorrow and Sunday, mostly sunny with the 70s. Next week, Wednesday, Thursday, we're in the lower 80s again. And then for the mountains, tomorrow and Sunday, plenty of sunshine. Slight chance of a shower on Monday. Next week, we'll see rebounding temperatures into the 60s. And then for the Kern River Valley, tomorrow the clouds hang around, but then sunny on Sunday. And then by next week, we start to see a little bit of a warm up as well. So the rain will continue as we go throughout today. That's Look Your Forecast. Have a great weekend. We'll be right back after the break.
KGET Business Watch is brought to you by Grapevine MSP Technology Services, the Valley's leading IT service provider.
In your 17 Business Watch, well, has the restaurant industry hit rock bottom? The nation's restaurant news and industry publication reports it may have. Restaurant same-store sales improved slightly in the week that ended April 5th. That's according to data from Black Box. While the numbers were still terrible when comparing year over year, this week saw a near 5% improvement over the week before. Fine dining has taken the biggest hit. Pizza concepts have experienced the smallest decline. An Amazon-owned Whole Food Market has temporarily converted a few stores to only fulfill online orders for grocery delivery. USA Today reports that China has converted a location in New York City, Baltimore, Maryland, and one in San Francisco. Grocery pickup is being expanded from around 80 stores to more than 150. There are plans to launch a new feature allowing customers to secure a time to shop, giving delivery customers a virtual place in line. 17 News is back after this. Welcome back now to the latest on the coronavirus here in Kern County. There are now a total of 587 positive cases of COVID-19 in Kern County. That includes 9 non-residents. Public Health says 212 people have recovered from the virus. 37% of all those who've tested positive have recovered. Now in your Crime Watch, a man is behind bars in connection in a recent stabbing that left a woman in critical condition. According to Bakersfield Police Department, yesterday evening, officers arrested 23-year-old Anthony Lee Lewis Jr. in the area of 19th Street and R Street. Unit saw Lewis on foot in the area and immediately apprehended him. BPD says it appeared he was following a female walking alone on the street. Lewis was wearing the same clothing the suspect was observed in on Tuesday. He was also found to be in possession of a knife. The department says the investigation linked Lewis to previous reported stabbings in town. The first occurred on March 14th in the 500 block of 21st Street. According to BPD, the victim in that incident was stabbed multiple times and sustained serious injuries. On April 2nd, officers investigated a stabbing that occurred in the 100 block of Kentucky Street with a female victim that was stabbed multiple times. The suspect description in all 3 incidents is similar, as is the manner in which the victims were assaulted. Lewis was arrested on suspicion of 3 counts of attempted murder and 3 counts of causing great bodily injury during the commission of a felon. And a Bakersfield man dies after falling from a flatbed truck while working in Lake Isabella. According to the Kern County Sheriff's Office, 29-year-old Andrew Bowe Jr. died Wednesday afternoon around 4:41 at Kern Valley Healthcare District after falling from that truck in the 6600 block of Lake Isabella Boulevard earlier that day. The department says the California Division of Occupational Safety and Health is investigating that incident. Sick Riders of America are stepping up to help people on the front lines during this time. The nonprofit will be handing out face shields today who need them most. About 1,000 masks will go to KCSO and another 1,000 will go to KCFD. Sick Riders of America has around 5,000 face shields. They will also stop by Rosewood Retirement Home to give face shields away there too. Sick Riders say that if you're part of an organization that needs PPE, feel free to reach out to them. And an assisted living facility in Bakersfield is helping its residents to stay in touch with their families during this time. The Palms at San Loren is constructing a plexiglass cube so family members can visit their loved ones here and still maintain social distancing and abide by the CDC guidelines.
We are trying to find all different ways to connect our families in this time during this COVID virus. So we have implemented this in our community, and it is a plexiglass cube so that our residents could come closer to our families without exchanging any type of air or touch or any of that.
The facility expects the new cube will be ready for use by this evening. Well, KGET is teaming up with Adventist Health Bakersfield to highlight the many inspiring stories in our community. Lives are transformed every day by people in the community who care, taking action to better the lives of others. Today, we highlight members of our community who have come together to feed our frontline workers. 17's Taylor Schaub has the story.
The fajitas have been fire broiled, packaged with a side of potatoes and loaded in the truck ready for transport.
It's the least we can do, we feel.
But these meals, courtesy of Chef Lino's and other local eateries, aren't going to your average customers.
We've done 670 meals. By the end of next week, I think we'll have delivered 1,000 meals to area medical staff and first responders.
It's all part of Food for the Frontline, an initiative started by Assemblyman Vince Fong and George Hay of Jimburg Ford. The pair wanting to provide local restaurant support while nourishing our local heroes.
This seemed like a really unique and simple way to help support some of these businesses so that they can be here when we're all ready to go out and enjoy the sunshine and then have a nice meal.
Running solely off donations, all week they've been feeding those who fight to keep us healthy.
It's really been a lot of contributions from, people like you and me that happen to have the means to give $10, $15, $20.
One of the beneficiaries was Debbie Stone, who said there's only one word to sum up a gift of this size.
Amazing. It makes it, we're here to help the community, but it's always nice to get a big thank you back.
Hay reiterating that point, calling this the ultimate display of Kern's giving spirit.
And we've been amazed at how much we've been able to do, and it's not because we're doing anything special, it's because people are stepping up and see the value.
Now, if you're interested in donating to Food of the Frontline, you can head on over to KGET.com and click on our hot link icon. Well, due to the coronavirus pandemic, our annual BBQ Fundraiser is supporting the Bakersfield Homeless Center had to be canceled, but you can still support that cause. Well, here's how. Stay home and have a picnic in your yard or living room, then donate the cost of your meal to BHC's COVID-19 Relief Fund. Your donation will help them purchase essentials like disinfecting products, baby items, along with additional meals for children who are now at the center instead of at school. Well, Insurco Walter Mortensen Insurance will be matching donations up to $2,000 to help. Make sure to post your picnic photos online and tag BAKHC so we can all picnic apart together today. Survivors of the novel coronavirus may play a large role in finding a remedy. Why healthcare workers are seeking their plasma. Stay with us. We're back after this. If you're a recovered coronavirus patient, you could have a life-saving antibodies inside of you. People who have recovered can donate their plasma for an experimental initiative to treat someone who is seriously ill. Some Arkansas residents jumped on the opportunity to help. Stephanie Sharp has the story.
Thank you for coming today.
Absolutely.
At the Arkansas Blood Institute, getting ready to donate plasma. It's not where Ben Floyd thought he would be just a few weeks ago.
I'm grateful that I recovered as quickly as I did.
The Little Rock native was one of the first in Arkansas to be diagnosed with coronavirus.
I was very blessed to not have severe symptoms.
He has since recovered and is donating the plasma as an experimental initiative.
It is a potential life-saving source for those who are in the ICU or who are hospitalized.
The antibodies in the so-called liquid gold can potentially be used to fight the virus in others.
This treatment is what we have available to us now. There has to be clinical trials to really determine how helpful it is.
Floyd hopes with the blood draw, it can give someone else's loved one the best possible chance at fighting the illness.
It's just an expression of gratitude.
He says if you've had COVID-19 or not, there are multiple ways you can help.
We can all help save lives. I mean, people that stay home and don't and do the social distancing, they're saving lives. And I'm just in a unique position with my antibodies to be able to do something a little bit different.
We've seen a lot of changes in the economy during the coronavirus pandemic. David Anderson, the financial advisor and managing partner at MoneyWise Guys, explains where the economy might be heading.
It's just been staggering how many job losses we've seen in such a short period of time, and not just here in the U.S., or not just here in Kern County, but in the U.S. and globally as well. I can put this in perspective for you. So the last recession ended in 2010, February 2010. And from that date until February of 2020, which was the longest expansion in U.S. history, we created 24 million jobs, just over 24 million jobs. In 4 weeks, we'd lost 22 million of those jobs. So it's just amazing that in 1 month, we've undone almost everything we've done for the past 10 years in terms of job creation.
And we've heard a lot of talk about this rate of job loss. Like you said, it is staggering, and we didn't even see this rate of job loss during the Great Depression. So what is that indicating for us? Are we headed for a recession or even a depression?
Well, the Fed and the government is trying to do all that they can to prevent a depression. I think it's too late to prevent a recession. I think most analysts would say that we're already in a recession, which that's 6 months essentially of contraction, 6-month period when the economy is getting smaller. A depression is an extended period of time. It could last for 2, 3, 4, 10 years of depression. So what the Fed is doing with trying to make money inexpensive, getting money in the hands of individuals, is to prevent that depression from happening. Of course, only time will tell if they're successful in doing that.
Do you think that things are going to continue to get worse before they get better?
Yes, I do. I mean, until we can see mass testing, as the president talked about opening back up the economy, this 3-phase plan, one thing that's in that plan is that before we even move to phase 2, we have to have widespread testing. If people can get tested, know that they don't have the coronavirus, then they can go back out and start working safely, but we just don't have the testing yet available. And so I don't think things are going to get much better until we have mass testing where we know that we can start opening up the economy.
Now, new numbers from Wuhan, the center of the coronavirus outbreak. Officials in Wuhan, China, are revising the city's coronavirus death toll. Within the past few hours, nearly 1,300 new deaths were added, rising that total to more than 3,800. The city also increased the total number of cases to more than 50,000. This comes as the U.S. accuses China of hiding the scope of the epidemic from the world. Meanwhile, China also suffered its worst economic contraction since at least the 1970s in the first quarter as it fought the coronavirus pandemic. Consumer spending and factory activity suggests it faces a longer, harder recovery than initially expected. Official data showed today that the world's second largest economy shrank 6.8% from a year ago. That's just in the 3 months ending in March, after factories, shops, and travel were closed to contain the infection. Controls on Beijing and some other cities have been tightened to prevent a resurgence of the disease. More foreigners are barred from entering the country.
This is 17 News with continuing coronavirus coverage.